Good morning, everybody. You've got me again for the story this week. Hope you've all had a good week and all kept really, really well. We've had some rain, haven't we? But I think the weekend's been quite nice. Okay, we'll carry on with our stories. And this week I'm taking it from a slightly older Bible called the Lyons Children's Bible. And it's going to be a story that the grown-ups are going to listen to as well when they go to church online today. And it's about Jesus when he was growing up, when he got a bit lost in church. So it's called The Boy in the Temple, and there's going to be some activities up on the Messy Church page for you to do if you want to, and also at the end there's going to be some questions. So I hope you're going to listen carefully and see if you can answer the questions. And in the children's resources on the website, there could be a colouring picture that maybe Mum or Dad could print off for you to colour in. Okay, let's have the story. Every year in the spring, Joseph and Mary went to Jerusalem for the annual Passover festival, which was a great big feast, and everybody from all over the land went, if they possibly could, to Jerusalem. And each family killed a lamb and ate a special meal to remind them of how God rescued his people from slavery in Egypt. When he was 12, Jesus went with them, joining the happy groups of visitors who crowded into the city. And can you see all the people are there pointing up to the city because they're excited about going there? And can you see the donkey carrying all their goods and their gifts? We go on aeroplanes, don't we? And we have suitcases and we can just put them in the car or go in a caravan. But in Jesus' day, they only had donkeys to carry everything for them. The busy, exciting days of the feast were soon over, and it was time to go home. Mary and Joseph set off with the crowd, returning to Nazareth. The boys were always running ahead or lagging behind, so Mary and Joseph didn't really notice that Jesus was missing until the evening. None of their friends had seen him. Mary and Joseph didn't sleep a wink that night, and next morning they went back to Jerusalem looking for Jesus. Another whole day passed, and at last they found him in the temple, listening to the men who taught God's laws and asking questions. There, can you see him? He's only 12, just sitting on the step, chatting away and listening and answering questions or asking questions. Everyone who heard him was amazed at how much he understood. "Why," and his mum said, "Jesus, why did you do this to us? Your father and I have been so worried." Well, Jesus seemed really quite surprised at that question. "But Mum, surely you knew I had to be here in my Father's house." Mary and Joseph were puzzled by this answer, and they were forgetting that Jesus was no ordinary boy and that God was his Father. So they returned to Nazareth, where Jesus was as obedient to them as he always had been. So that was the story, and I hope you've listened to the questions. I'm going to have listen to the story because we're going to have some questions now. Okay, let's just get the questions and we'll see if you can answer them. Okay, the first question is, what was the name of the big city that Jesus' family went to every year? What was the name of the big festival that they celebrated? How old was Jesus in this story? When did Mary and Joseph realize that Jesus was missing? And what did they do? Where did they find Jesus? And what was he doing? Why did Jesus say he was there? And who is Jesus' father? Okay, did you get those questions? Right, that's the story, so I hope you've had a good time. One other activity you might be able to do is, if you've got any paper chains, you can sort of lick and stick those together and write people's names on them, people that are in your family who you want to pray for. And the other activity that's going to be on the Messy Church page is about cutting around your hands. So one hand for Jesus and one hand for your family. And then there's going to be another activity that's going to be put up there ready. So I hope you're going to have a good time with this story, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.